Hi friends, look who's here. The husband, Victor, is here joining us today for a quick conversation. Last week, I checked in with you because I wanted to see how you're doing. I know many people are struggling in silence, especially from the pandemic and the isolation that we have experienced in the last year. Personally, there are many ways on how I cope, and therapy is one of them. I have been seeking counseling in the last couple of decades, and I find it very helpful, and I see the benefits more and more as I get older. And today, Victor is sharing his ways of coping. And for the record, I did not force him to join me today. I did ask him if he wanted to share, and luckily he willingly agreed with no hesitation. And because I realized that I respect his privacy and that this could be personal, but yeah, thankfully he agreed and he's here right now.
Hi, friends.
So, we're gonna get into it. In seeking help, when was the first time that you asked for help? Oh, also, I actually don't know the answer to this question. I've always known that he has, been getting therapy even before we got together, but I never really asked, like, why or when. So this is really the first time I'm asking this question. So when was the first time?
It was probably in my late 20s, early 30s. Probably my late 20s, I want to say, I think, if I'm doing the math right. So,
okay, so why and
actually my early 30s.
Why did you ask for help then? And did anyone tell you or did anyone encourage you to talk to someone?
No, it wasn't necessarily someone encouraging me. I'd gotten to a point in my life where I just started seeing patterns. I started seeing ways that I was acting after certain, certain events, after relationships, and so I just started seeing how I was hurting myself. And I just realized that I needed to start thinking about, okay, why do I keep going through the same things over and over? Why do I keep putting myself through the same things over and over? And so I thought to myself, I need to really start looking deeper into this. And so I thought, how can I do that? And therapy was the path that I decided to choose to try to explore what I was going through.
But it's not like you were diagnosed with anything, right? Like it was just a therapy like that came to mind?
It was therapy that came to mind. It was, at the time I was living in an area where I just didn't have a lot of friends. And so it was something where I felt I needed some additional help. During the course of that therapy, I was diagnosed with a mild case of depression. But regardless, it was something where I just realized, I got to a point in my life where I realized I needed to do something more because what I was currently doing just wasn't working enough for me.
So were you worried about the stigma or you being a guy seeking help?
I wasn't, and part of that admittedly might have been I just may have been a bit ignorant about that respect because this was still a little bit before social media and before the internet obviously was certainly a thing, but social media and those aspects really were not the force that they are today. And I just didn't really worry about the stigma. It didn't occur to me. At the end of the day, I was just concerned about helping myself and doing what I had to do for myself. And I didn't think about or worry really about the judgment of others.
Yeah. Just to also give you a backstory, on one of our first couple of dates, I really did decide to be very transparent, and I wasn't going to play games, and I was just going to lay everything out on the table. Mm-hmm. And so I did. I talked about my history of depression, my history of anxiety, seeking therapy. I talked about my divorce, and even I think the first or second date, because I was like, you know what? It's either like he takes me for who I am or he leaves me. At least it was just right in the beginning.
I took her for who she is.
And I appreciate that. And so he did mention right away also that he did open up. At the time that I was sharing everything and laying out on the table, he did share about his, self-help work and that he does value self-growth, which is for me is like really one of my first like priorities, because I really think that's how I got better, and that's really played a role in my healing journey. And the fact that he talked about, you know, his therapy and really have no problems of asking for help, where for me was a sign of strength and just courage, because especially for a guy, I have met many people and even close to my life who has been really a big part of my life, and we've had problems in our relationships and we're not willing to seek help because they didn't think that they needed help and that they were too just, yeah, they said they were okay, and so there's no problem, so why bother, or you know, it's not something I need, I'm not, yeah, just there's so many excuses and many reasons. So that's one of the things that I loved about him, really acknowledging that, you know, if you need help, you need help. Whether it's physical help, you go to a doctor, or you mental, emotional support, then you go to a therapist, a counselor, however you want to call it. It is a sign of courage. And so I do appreciate you sharing about that. And we can really talk about this for a long time. But for now, I do want to share with you, to this day, we both are seeing a therapist on our own, and we continue to do the work. And I really think that it's been a really monumental part of both of our individual healing journeys. I know many people don't like to ask for help or would even consider seeing a professional for many reasons. But please remember this. Seeking therapy does not mean you're broken. It does not mean that you need to be fixed. It's not shameful in any way. And if anything, it is really a sign of bravery and courage to know when you need help and when to ask for help. So no matter what you're going through, please always know that help is available. And if you're not ready to see a professional, that's okay. But I do hope that you get to open up to someone and share with someone if you're really struggling on your own. And if you can't find anyone, please feel free to message me and let me know how I can support you in any way. I will put my email link below in the description, and I would love to hear from you, and I will help you in any way I can. Do you have any parting words?
Just thank you for having me. I hope this is helpful, and just don't be afraid. If you need help, seek it out, definitely, including from her. She is always very helpful to everyone.
So whatever it is you're going through, I will be praying for you. I will be praying for your health, for your strength, for your courage, and for peace in your heart. Sending you my love and gratitude. Thank you for being here.
How'd I do?
Good job.